a lot of ovations like that this year, coming off the mound after his start, being introduced before a game. These Giants fans, they've taken to you. Has that been pretty cool? Yeah, and it never gets old. You also have a good hat tip when you walk off the mound. You've worked on that a little bit. That's a good one. 13 years of practice.
What's it been like coming back to the Giants? You had a choice this offseason when you were trying to make it back to the big leagues, and this was the organization you started with. The Giants drafted you, they developed you before you got traded to the Pirates, and as I understand it, you wanted badly to come back here and be a Giant again.
Yeah, you know, I was trying to get back here ever since I got traded to Pittsburgh, and there's a couple reasons why. The relationships I had with the coaching staff and the front office and some of the players that I played against along the way were here. And, I mean, on a negative note, where I was sitting in the wintertime, I thought that this might be my last year, so I wanted to finish where I started. But I'm glad things turned around.
Stick around for a while now. It's not going to be your last year. Not going to be Ryan's last year.
Question for Javier. Now, Javier, last year, a member of the Giants bullpen, the Giants' first time ever they won a world championship here in San Francisco. That's not your first world championship. You were there with the Red Sox when they ended their drought and became world champions and the American League pennant winners. And I mean, you're kind of the slump buster. You know, whenever you go, the teams, they break that long slump. What is it about you that wherever you go, these good things happen?
I like to just say it's the relentless flow of the positive river. I think Glenn loves that. He loves that. I would just kind of come in. I've had so much up and down in my career. I'm kind of like Vogelsong, except his story is way cooler than mine. So, yeah, it's all about being positive, enjoying the time out here. I mean, this lifespan is short in Major League Baseball, and you know, you try to enjoy every moment. And when I first started my career, it was kind of, you know, if things went bad, it was something I thought about all the time. So now it's just being positive, enjoying the family that we have as a clubhouse, and enjoying those teammates, and you know, 8-1 in World Series. So that's not a bad record.
Yeah, what happened in that one?
I have a phone call here. Excuse me. Jim Hendry with the Chicago Cubs. He wants to know if you go to the Cubs.
Well, I'm a free agent, so I don't know.
We're not letting you go.
The river does not flow to Chicago, sorry. But you have had to go through some ups and downs in your career, and you sort of had to reinvent yourself along the way. How'd you become, you're different than most guys, the sidearm style? How'd that come about? Tell us that story.
Well, I got drafted as a traditional left-handed thrower, probably through 3/4 like Baumgartner and Sanchez, and I was absolutely horrible in the minor leagues. I'd give you one good outing, and I'd pretty much be just absolutely terrible for the next 3 or 4. So then I figured, hey, might as well drop down, try something new, and I was with the Diamondbacks at the time, and they had Byung Kim throwing down from the right side, and they were just trading for Mike Myers, so they weren't opposed to trying some different arm angles, and I went out there and basically tried to it was either going to end my career or I was going to see where it went, and next thing you know, I'm pitching in the big leagues for the last 9 years, so it's been going well.
Good move.
Thanks. Ryan Vogelsong. You know, injury is such a big part of this game, and you went through the ultimate arm injury that a pitcher could go through, and that was Tommy John surgery. Now, before you went into surgery, you were a guy that threw 95 plus, big curveball, and you know, you can still throw 95 plus. Tell us about the transition coming out of Tommy John surgery. Did you notice it was different right on? How long did it take you to get back to where you were full bore?
My Tommy John was actually a little different than traditional. I did it on one pitch, which is pretty rare. It's usually time after time it just wears down and finally goes. So I actually came back in 10.5 months because my injury was really fresh during surgery. And the hardest thing about Tommy John is you can't rush it. There's a pretty strict protocol on what you have to follow. And if you try and rush that, that's when guys get re-injured, and it's just a tedious process because you can't go faster.
Is it harder when you're a young guy, you think, for somebody who's younger to be patient?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think being young helped recover from the injury faster.
Now, sometimes we call you Vogie. That's sort of your nickname around the club. I think probably most of our season ticket holders who are here know that you spent some time in Japan. Now, the Japanese language, the V sound, is not really a part of the Japanese language. So what do folks call you over there?
Bogey. Not a birdie, bogey.
Not a birdie. I like that one. That's a good one.
They always had to throw in, you're not better than par, you're above par.
So it's a baseball and golf culture there, too.
Yeah, I really, it made me feel great, too,
Yeah. So I probably shouldn't start using that one.
Just stick with bogey.
Okay, all right. Noted.
All right, Javier, last year you're part of the Giants bullpen, which was a huge part of the Giants' success, and it was referred to as the beard pin. Everybody was wearing beards. Any plans to do the same this year?
We're thinking about trying something different. Obviously, Wilson's got quite a head start, and so does Romo. So I went ahead and told him in spring training that I needed to know roughly spring training because it takes me forever to grow facial hair. So that's why I'm thinking we might do like maybe the Mohawk deal or something. But we're open to suggestions. If you guys have some ideas, there'll be a comment box somewhere. We'll put it up, and you guys can put in whatever you want.
What is the toughest bullpen around baseball? The hardest, I should say, what's the ballpark that's hardest on the bullpen in baseball? Is it the bullpen in Philadelphia where the fans are hanging over? Is it Los Angeles? What's the toughest bullpen to sit in as a visitor?
I'd say the worst one to sit in is in San Diego or in Chicago, just because you're on the field and your back you're looking this way to watch the game. It's horrible. And then fans, it's Philly's up there. They're always on you pretty good. Philly's tough, I'd say. The Dodgers were tough. I don't know. It's working out well that maybe they're having to deal with some financial issues because people are not coming out to the ballpark as much, so it's making it easier on us.
It's this is a family program here today. We've got some young Giants fans. But what kind of stuff do you hear down in the bullpen from visiting fans? You ever hear anything that's not so friendly?
Well, they enjoy making comments about, mothers and fathers and, sisters, wives, girlfriends, whatever you got. It's pretty much, there's some colorful language mixed in, but, the usual, I hate to say it, earmuffs, but they say you suck a lot. That one's kind of annoying. You hear it a lot, but I gotta say, everybody in the bullpen loves creativity. If you're getting ragged on and it's funny, you can't help but pay attention. I mean, you hear everybody yelling at you, so when it's funny stuff, that's when it makes it fun to listen to.
Ryan, we hear a lot about the bullpen and the camaraderie down there and how they're all a group. Does that apply to the starting pitchers as well? Do you guys have a little club within the team where you support each other, help each other out?
Yeah, we do, but I think here's special the pitching staff in the whole because there is no bullpen for them to go to. So the whole staff gets to spend a lot of time together in the dugout during the game, and I think that benefits our team above everyone else.
Is that always a good thing to have those guys with you during the game in the dugout?
I know that they don't like us. They don't like the starters hanging around them during the game, but we go down there and it's enjoyable to hear the bullpen conversation.